my cluttered garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds of sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you're here. Welcome to live stream number 156. It's April 15th, 2024, tax day in the U.S. Listen, I'm here in the barn, and I first have to see, I need a comment from somebody. Let me know that you can hear me. Can you hear me? I got to make sure of that, because this was a little spontaneous thing that I'm doing here, and I'm using my phone. And I plugged in the DJI mic. There we go. Thank you, Chris. Audio is good. So I plugged in the DJI mic, and when you have the mic plugged in to the iPhone, now you don't hear audio. So when I played the intro music, I couldn't hear it. So there's a little fault with that. Sometimes I use the AirPods and they work because then I can hear and talk. But this time I thought I would try this in case I end up walking away. Like I'm going to walk away right now. Anyway, spring is here. It's finally, I mean, it was officially here back in March, but yesterday we were out here working and I said to Ann, there's something about today that just feels like this is it. Like spring is really here. And then you look at the leaves on the trees and the flowers coming out. We've got dogwoods blooming, and it just, you know, like honestly, if you're outside for a couple days, each day you see something different. I mean, look at these dogwoods here. Look how pretty that is. We got a row of them there too. We were saying today how thankful we are that Phil and Lucinda had such great vision for this property. We got that nice row of dogwoods going back there in front of the truck. Anyway, that's so that's why I thought, let me come outside today. Plus, I want to talk to you about, you know, we missed last week because we were in Canada, and that was my first time in Canada. So we were there for the solar eclipse. We wanted to experience totality. And you may have seen the eclipse from different places, but there was a specific path of totality, which means that the sun is completely blocked 100% by the moon. If you're not in that path, if you're off a little bit, it's just like my face here. Like there's totality, but if you happen to be, you know, east or west of totality, you got a little bit of my face there, which is the sun. My face is the sun. Can't you tell it's the sunshine? My hand is the moon. But you know, if you're east or west of totality, you see a little bit of sun peeking through. Either way, so you got to be right in that path of totality, and it ran up from Texas to Canada, and I guess and beyond. But those were the options, you know, to see and follow this band across the country. So 6 months ago or more, Ann said we should go see that. Her doing that got us to go see that. And it was really neat. I put a little short video. Hopefully you saw that. So I'm talking here like I'm talking here. I want to make sure you can hear me. And I know you can hear me, but see, I've got Wi-Fi in the barn. I opened the garage door because, you know, the metal barn, I think, blocks the Wi-Fi signal. So I didn't want to get too far from the barn. I've got Wi-Fi at the house, but anyway, there could be some connection issues. So I just sat out here to do this. Anyway, I put out a short video while we were experiencing totality. It's a YouTube short. It's on Facebook, Marketplace, Facebook, TikTok. Starting to break up. All right, I'll go back. I want to show you Irma Linda too. All right, I'm going back. How about if I'm right out here? There. How's that? Give it a second to, here, I'll come back. 1 second. Oh yeah, I got full Wi-Fi there. I don't know how Josh at Stony Ridge Farm, where he goes out in his fields and he live streams from the fields, and he's in North Carolina where there's no signal. Now I know he's got Starlink, but that doesn't help you out in the field. So I don't know how he does that. He does a good job, and it's pretty clear from where he is. Maybe he has exceptional cell service where he is. Maybe that's how it works. Could be. I don't know. Anyway, Kendall. Let's see. There you go. Saw the eclipse in Maine. Was in totality for about 1.5 minutes. Wasn't that the coolest thing? We were very fortunate. We were in Canada, up at Niagara, a little town called Niagara-on-the-Lake, which is the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. And we were about 15 minutes from the falls. We did do a falls tour on Sunday before the eclipse, but we got to experience, we were in it, Kendall, for like 3 minutes, which was just fascinating. And it's, what was so neat about it is that it's different than a sunset. You're there, it was just like this, and then within a minute or two, it just goes completely dark. The street lights came on, it was like midnight. And then after 3 minutes, it got light again. But it wasn't like sunset, because when you have sunset, you've got the sun on the horizon setting, where this was in the sky. And it's hard to explain, but it's a different feeling. So I see Mark vacation at Niagara-on-the-Lake. What a neat town. I mean, I want to go back too. It's a touristy town, but it's so quaint, and I really loved it. Now, I was going to show you a picture, because part of this trip, part of the very exciting trip, is that we got to meet Ross on the land and his wife. Is Ross even here tonight? I don't even know if I see him on here. I was going to show you a picture, but since I decided to stream from my phone, I can't do that. But you know what Ross looks like. But there's a picture of us with Ross and Anne and Ross's wife, Michelle, and our friends, good friends and good neighbors, Margaret and John. We all went up together, and we all got to have dinner and had a great time. So there's Ross. I was just talking about you, man. Hope you heard that. Anyway, that was one of the highlights of the trip, was meeting Ross in person. You know, we've been friends online now for quite a few years, and that's how it is in the YouTube community, like we have here tonight. You know, you just meet people and you get to know them remotely, but then when you meet in person, it's really nice. So that was, again, a highlight. So good times there. There's a couple things here, again, because I did this spontaneously. First of all, my phone doesn't have a full charge. I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm using Safari as the browser for this, and I can't see my battery level unless I swipe up, which I'm going to have to do here in a second. And the other thing is, we're not going to do a sticker giveaway tonight, because I don't have that all set up to do that. There's Hachi is chasing. So let's show you Irma Linda. Can I switch this camera? I know there's a way to do that. Not, sorry. That was the wrong button. This is a little clunky, I'll be honest with you. But if I switch the camera to the rear-facing camera, back triple camera, what? There it is. So you can see, oh look, no, I can't zoom in on it. Here comes Irma. Irma Linda, and there's Hachi getting very curious about her, but she's been good to her. Hey Irma, over here. Come here. Irma is the orphan lamb. I shared it on Facebook. Neighbor contacted me and said that the mother had died and the lamb was 2 weeks old, so it needed to be nursed. Hachi, wouldn't that be very National Geographic to have the dog attack the lamb on live television? So anyway, the lamb was 2 weeks old. I don't even know how it survived or for how long, but we've been nursing her now for about 5 days, and it's been touch and go. But today, for the first time, she's got some good strength. I'm going to try and get a little closer. Hey, Hotch. Don't be a jerk. Come here, Irma. So anyway, there she is. You want to go back in your igloo? Let me put her back in the igloo. Hachi, stop. All right, come on, Irma. Come on. Hachi, you stay back here. Go ahead. Hachi. There she goes. She loves her igloo. So anyway, thank you to Sister Linda for letting us borrow that igloo. When we bought the property, we bought the kennel that was here. It was in pieces behind the barn and needed a little bit of fixing up. But thankfully, my brother-in-law talked me into buying that. He said, you know, you never know, you might have a farm animal or something to keep in it. I thought, that's smart. So anyway, I bought it. It had some wire that was disconnected, so I had to reconnect the wire. The brackets to hold the pieces together were missing, so I wired it together. But then I ended up going on Amazon and I bought the brackets for actually clamping it together. So it's really nice. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to switch the camera back. I'm going to get back to the barn, closer to the Wi-Fi, because I don't know what you're seeing here. And yeah, this is clunky to be switching this around. Yeah. Where's the front camera? Hey, there I am. Okay. So yeah, I thought this would be a little easier. Again, Josh does it all the time. So here we are in a good place. Let's look at some comments. John, what's with the super chat? That's really kind. You know, it's people like you who keep this channel going. I appreciate it. You got all of you folks who watch the videos. I say this, I hope I say this enough, how much I appreciate that you watch the videos, and simply watching the videos is supporting us, because you know, it's something fun, but it's also now a business, basically, because this is how we're earning some income, since this is my full-time position at this point. So when I produce a video and you watch it and you see the little ad come up, and you might hate the little ad and find it annoying, but the ad pops up, and you know, when you watch the video, I get like it dropped. It used to be like 0.8 of a penny per view. I feel like it's less than that now. It depends on the video, but sometimes it's like half a penny per view. So you get 1,000 views, you get $5. So it's kind of rough. But then we have some videos that are bigger, and you know, no, there's no complaints here. I'm here to thank you, is what it is. That's what I'm talking about. It's just to thank you for that support. I do appreciate it. Yeah, Mike, that little lamb is cute, I'll tell you. And again, it's been, I don't know about touch and go, but she's not super interested in nursing. I did find her schedule now, basically. She loves the bottle in the morning. I kind of force it to her a couple times during the day, like I have to shove it in there, and then she starts to suckle. And then at night, she likes the bottle. I come out like 9 o'clock at night, and she'll take like 2 or 3 ounces of formula. It's specific lamb formula. She takes that around 9 o'clock at night. And during the day, I give her water in a little bowl, but I also give her electrolyte, which is made for livestock. It's not, it looks like Gatorade, but it's not. Maybe it is. It just probably doesn't have the sugar in it. It's a little packet you mix up, and it turns the water blue, just like Gatorade. She likes it, so she will drink that throughout the day. I got some sheep drench. It's called. It's like a mixture of molasses and some other elements, whatever, and you squirt that in their mouth a couple times, and that's like kind of boosts them a little bit. And some lamb paste, it's called. Those are enzymes that you kind of force them to swallow, and that gets their digestive system working well. So the other night I went in, it's going down like 45 at night, and I came out to the igloo, and she seemed like she wasn't too. Ann said maybe she was tired, but anyway, she didn't have any energy at all. I took the igloo and I put a blanket on the next to the wall. So when she was laying against the wall of the igloo, I wanted her to be warm. So I put a blanket in there to insulate her from the wall. And then I just laid the blanket on top of her so that she could get up and out if she had to. I didn't want to wrap her up. So I laid it on top of her. And I went in and I said to Ann, I wouldn't be surprised if she's not there in the morning. Physically, she would be there, but, spiritually, she'd be gone. So I said it's 50-50. And we went out in the morning and she was there, took a bottle and did well. And then today, for the first time, she's actually showing signs of more energy. She knows her name. She doesn't know her name, but she knows when I call her, she looks up. I've got a Ring camera set up on the kennel, so and when I'm in the house, I can call up the lamb. I call it the lamb cam. I can call up the lamb cam and kind of check on her. And you can talk through the lamb cam as well. So I hit the button, and if I say Irma, like just an hour ago. That's why I'm out here. I came out, I was in the house, and I looked at the camera, and I said to Ann, watch this, because she looks up when she hears it. So I clicked it, and I said, Irma, and she looked up. And I said it again, and then she started to do that little bleeding thing, which was neat. So I came out, and she was actually happy to see me, which was neat. I opened the kennel, and she walked out, and we walked across the yard. She followed me across the yard. So I'm her new mother now, I think. So that was fun that she did that. And again, she's weak. She doesn't have a whole lot of strength. She's got one leg that's not working too well, but she's starting to put weight on it. And it's all good. So I feel a little better today, although we've bottle fed lambs in the past, and most of the time it's been unsuccessful. So I'm going to look at questions here. I'll go through, I didn't go through our standard routine here, but anyway, Chris knows the deal. If you have a question, post it like this with the word question followed by your question. So Chris, question is, will you keep her long term? I don't think we have a choice. If she survives, Ann's going to get attached to her. I will too, but it's neat to have an animal on the property, and she'll probably stay. I think she'll probably stay here. We've got a fenced-in area that needs some work, but it would be a good place for a lamb. And she's a mixed breed hair sheep. The nice thing about that is she doesn't have to be sheared. We had sheep before. We had up to a dozen at one time at the other property, which was too many. And getting them sheared is a lot of work because you have to have somebody either come to the house, and shear them. And to do that, you've got to round them up. So you have to have a good place to do that. I had a holding pen, and I would feed them grain in the holding pen every day so they would get used to going in there. But no offense if you're a sheep, for as dumb as they are, they're kind of tuned in to when there's a predator in the area, and I guess they considered me a predator. When it was shearing time, I would get them into the holding pen, and then when I'd walk around to try to close the gate, they knew something was up. And once they bolted, that was it. You had one shot to get them in. Once they were onto you, no luck. So that was kind of a hassle. And then there was a time when I just had a few left, you would take them somewhere and get them sheared. Anyway, it's kind of a hassle, that part of it. And the shearing part, thank goodness, we've got a good friend and neighbor who did that for years. But to shear them is a whole nother level of pain in the neck, probably literally. Anyway, she's a hair sheep. They shed. They're ugly when they shed, but at least you don't have to get them sheared. You still have to catch her and trim her hooves every now and then. But if she's friendly to us, then that shouldn't be so hard. We'll see about that. Let's see if there's any other comments here. Bob has a question. Progress on the Jeep? Not quite 0. I would call it 1% progress, because what I did was I ordered the head gasket kit. That may not be new information because I did that quite a few weeks ago, and I may have already shared that with you. But I did order the gasket set, and I've been waiting for decent weather, which we finally have, to start taking it apart. What I'm thinking is I want to do this slowly and methodically, because I don't want to get in over my head, and I also don't want to get frustrated by it. So what I'm thinking is if I can just go out, for an hour or two every day or two and just take something off, mark it. That's what I'm hoping. In my mind, I like to do things methodically, and then in reality, it's just a mess. It's like I will take this apart, and I will place the bolts in little cans, and I will label them, and then when it actually comes time to do it, it's like, where are those bolts that I took off, and where do they go? I don't know. But maybe this time will be different. Maybe this time I'm growing up. Could be this time. So progress is right now nothing, but I want to tear into it. I'm excited about it, and I want to see if I'm right about the just the head gasket, and hopefully that's the only thing. I bought the head gasket kit. I bought new spark plugs, basically new ignition parts, new spark plugs, new wires, rotor, distributor, and I think that's it really I think that's all there is. So when I do it, I'll put those in too, and hopefully that. Mark, thank you for that. I think you sent me an email. Did I reply to you yet, Mark? If not, I apologize. I think 2 Marks. No, I think I did reply to you, Mark, because then there was another person named Mike who also emailed me about the septic video. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'm glad that it helped you understand the process. And as I recall, I think you may be getting ready to put one in. So good luck with that. I learned a lot putting that septic system in, watching Sam put that septic system in, but in filming it, I learned a lot. And that's generally the case with what's neat about doing videos, whether it be YouTube or professionally like I've done for the past 30 years, but you get hired to do a video explaining a process, and it's sort of like a free education because you're learning about that process. It's actually a paid education a lot of times, because if you do a video for a company and you're paid for it, you have to learn what you're going to be filming. And I always enjoyed that. One of the first not big, I guess it was, first quasi-big corporate jobs I did was for an asphalt company. This is a company that does asphalt application on streets and highways, and not just driveways, but I had to go out and film them laying down the asphalt. I learned about the different types of chip and stone, and about different types of tar that they use, and the different processes. So it was really, really interesting to learn about that. So Kevin's hoping to get some goats next year. Yeah, well, one thing I'll tell you, Kevin, we had a couple goats in the past. I might have had 3 or 4. I have not been a fan of goats because maybe I had the wrong breed, but ours would get out of the fence no matter what you did. They were Houdinis. When they were little, they would find a way under the fence. When they got older, they'd find a way over the fence. Extremely frustrating for me. And now I know other people who have goats and don't have a problem. So maybe I just had a breed that was very good at hopping fences. But they were kind of a pain, I'll be honest with you. But they're cute, for sure. But my sister and brother-in-law, they had goats down in Tennessee, and they had them for a while, and they did pretty well. Look at Hachi, watching that, sitting right next to that lamb. I'm not convinced that she's totally friendly with that lamb. She's been okay with it, but part of it, I think, is because that lamb can't run yet. And Hachi's a chaser. That's how she got skunked in the past. If anything runs, she'll chase it. And I'm not convinced that she wouldn't chase that lamb if it ran. But hopefully she'll get comfortable with her over the next few weeks. But You know, I don't think she's there because she wants to be the lamb's friend. But she's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm looking at some comments here. Mike is asking, how soon can they be on grass alone? I don't know what the how old they are when they're weaned. I'll have to look that up. But she's already eating grass. I read that they'll nibble on grass basically at birth. So throughout the day, she eats quite a bit of grass, and I take her outside of the kennel where there's a lot of clover and nice green grass, and she works her way around and eats quite a bit. So I think that's good for her to be getting that. I want her to get her bottle fed because the bottled formula has the fat that they need. You know, if you eat green grass, you're not really getting any fat. Maybe you're getting nutrients, but she needs fat. So that's why she's still in the bottle. And so far, so good. So anyway, I'll look up when to wean her, but she's nowhere near that yet for sure. I think it's probably a good another 6-8 weeks to do that. But we'll see for sure. All right. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Yeah, Kevin Ann was saying if she survives, we should probably get her a little friend. Maybe so. I mean, they are herd animals, right? Don't know. But she was following me today, so like I said, I'm her herd. I'm her new flock. All right. Now, I'm just reading other people's comments here. Hi, Earl. Brutal Bob. Yeah. We should have like a separate, I love that you guys chat with each other, but we should almost have a separate group chat that I don't even see. Yeah. Well, other comments that Irma needs a friend. Yeah. Yep. Well, I want to go back to, we're all over the place here, but Mike's asking about the Jeep. Why won't this comment load? Oh, are we now at a different point here where things don't want to work? Okay. Well, Mike was asking about the, there finally came white smoke on a cold start. I don't even know, to be honest with you. I don't remember if it did or not. No, it didn't. But here's my theory, Mike. Here's my amateur diagnosis. If the coolant, if the head gasket or cracked head, if it was leaking into the exhaust port, then you would have the white smoke because you'd be getting coolant into the hot exhaust, which would make steam coming out the back. My theory is that there's a crack in the gasket between the cylinder and the actual coolant chamber, whatever the word is. So I think what's happening is the cylinder is when the cylinder comes up, it pressurizes it, the crack, and it's basically blowing exhaust into the cooling system. So you wouldn't see anything happening on the outside because there's no water going out. It's actually exhaust going into the water system, the cooling system, which is why it overheats extremely quickly. The previous owner, it broke down on him. It blew the bottom radiator hose. He thought the radiator hose blew, which caused it to overheat, which caused it to break down. My theory is that the pressure going into the cooling system actually pressurized that cooling system so much that that's what caused the lower radiator hose to blow. Because the little bit I ran it, and it was a very little bit, the radiator hoses got hard as a rock. I mean, they had a lot of pressure on them. It was spewing out, the radiator cap was spewing out, so it was incredible pressure on the system. So that's my diagnosis. Whether it's right or not, I don't know, but that's why I'm curious to see. I'm excited to see that. All right, there's David from RCAF Polar Express. Good to see you again, my friend, who was away for a while. Yeah, there you go. Back to the goat conversation. That sums it up. If water can get through your fence, so can your goats. That was my experience. Now, maybe if I had a fence like this chain link that the kennel's made out of, if I could have a whole field of that 6 feet high, that might do it. Expensive, but it might do it. Maybe not that pretty either. So, any questions about the eclipse, about the lamb, about the property? I got working on a video here a little bit today and tomorrow because I haven't put a video out since before we left for Canada because we left for Canada and then getting back it's got other things to do. So I have something to share with you here in the next couple days, I think. All right. Well, Margaret is cutting grass, productive recreation. Is just glad the snow melted. Linda has a question about Lake Lucinda. It is almost gone, and you can't see it from here. It's just beyond the kennel. Still can't see it. Anyway, in the middle. It's probably still 6 inches deep, but it's going down. I feel like it's going down at least an inch a day. Ann was mowing yesterday, and she got to mow around it, and you keep getting closer and closer. But anyway, it's almost gone. And soon enough, we'll be in a drought, right? All right. See you, Mark. Mark's got to go. You know, it'd be nice if these comments had like a little timestamp next to them, and I would know when they came in, because I'm just scrolling through. Thanks, Mike, for agreeing with my analysis and my diagnosis. Yes, high pressure from the combustion. That's exactly what I think is happening, which I think is going to be good news. I'm doubtful that there's a cracked head. Doubtful and hopeful. Oh, Phil, you're watching me on a new big screen TV? I look good, huh? And this is only 720, you know. I'm not paying for the StreamYard account to give you 1080p. This is only 720. So, thanks. I feel 10 years younger now that you said that. So, yeah, Margaret, are you mowing right now? How can you hear Ed over the mower? Joe, thanks for being here. You missed a lot, boy. I'll tell you that. You missed a lot. Got to be here on time to catch it all, because it's just so fascinating, the stuff we talk about. But you guys are talking to each other. You don't even care that I'm here. You don't need me. You have each other. Right? Whoa. A little sneak peek from Chris. Visited the Kubota salesman today. That's dangerous. I may have something substantial coming soon. Whew. Keep watching the Watershed Overlook for something substantial. I like that. Question from David W. Oh, yeah, a lot has happened here the past few weeks. Did you feel the earthquake? I did, David. I did feel it. The quake happened in northern New Jersey, and I know folks felt it in New York City. We're way down in southwestern New Jersey, and I felt it, and it was weird. I was sitting in the by the fireplace. We call it the hearth room. Sitting by the fireplace, and I heard a little jingling, which was a little odd. And then my chair just started like like this, like just a little bit rocking. I'm like, that is weird. And then when it didn't stop for, it only lasted like 3 seconds or so, 3 or 4 seconds, but long enough where you're like, what's going on? And I was just getting ready to get up and go get Anna and say, let's get out of this house, because this house is 150 years old. I don't know how much of this it can take. It was weird, and I can't imagine what people feel, and a lot of you may have felt them. I can't imagine what it would feel like to be in an earthquake where things are actually falling off the shelves, and that'd be weird. So that was weird enough for me, but I did feel it, and that was fun. Hello, Kim. Good to see you. All right. Oh, the comments just moved. Yep. Okay. You know what, Chris? Listen, we did talk about having Ann on during the eclipse, and we were going to try and do a live stream with Ann and Margaret and John. Would have even done it with Ross and his wife, but they were not actually with us the day of the eclipse. So we were talking about doing it, but it was we were hungry and we went to dinner instead. I confess, we were really talking about doing it, but obviously we didn't. So I will talk to Ann again, and if she's watching now or not later, I will tell her that she's being requested. Her presence is being requested. So, oh, you cried? I'm sorry. The most disappointing cancellation of the year, right? We haven't canceled too many times. And I felt bad. I do feel bad canceling. Um, but because I know a lot of you do, you look forward to this, you come back to it. And I appreciate that so much. Okay, so I need to scroll. I need to click off here for just a second and look at my battery life. Okay. I hope that mic meeting works, so I'm not coughing in your face. So we're still okay for a little bit here. I don't know if we'll make it the whole till 8 o'clock, but we're 40 minutes into it almost, so that's good. All right. Let me see what comments I'm missing here. Yes, David, your Monday night tradition. You have been here from the beginning, my friend, and I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. And I wish we could have seen you in Canada too, but you were nowhere near. I don't think you're anywhere near where we were. Okay. So, again, if you have a question, then post the question with the word question, followed by a question, just like this. You have a question? There, I did it. I'm getting fancy with this phone now. Question followed by your question. We could just put it down there like that the whole time running. Sun is setting. Gosh, what a beautiful sky. Maybe I can just turn around and show that to you. Don't worry, I won't go too far from the Wi-Fi. I think what I need to do, yeah, the dynamic range of this camera is not so great. So you can't see it, but there's a nice orange sun behind those clouds over there. Our son, David, is an IT person, and he put the Wi-Fi in the barn for me with a really nice unit. We put it like central in the barn, thinking I'd want to get it throughout the whole barn, but now I'm thinking maybe I should move it closer to the outside wall, or maybe get one that's even weatherproof and put it outside so I can be in the yard here more so. I don't know. I just thought I don't need to be that committed to Wi-Fi. So the barn's a mess. Oh, there the light came on. It's getting dark. The barn's a mess, but we're still working on. We still have junk from the other house that we're trying to put away and find a home for it. I did do this. Let me see. Sorry for the squeaks. But here was the one. Ah, it doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. I was going to clamp this. I can clamp it here. Look at that. See, my idea was that I could clamp that there. Then I could walk away some. And that's why I put the mic on. Because if I'm up near the camera, I don't need the mic. But if I wanted to go, initially I thought I'd go out and see the lamb, and then you just mount the camera somewhere. So that was the idea there. Let me go back and see. Kind of nice not holding the thing. I've got a booster in the window of the barn. It works for a long ways. That's good. Wi-Fi extender. Yeah, that may be. Do you roll your lawn? If that question is for me, the answer is no. We just mow it. I did borrow a aerator one time. Not at this property, the other property. I don't know if that really did much or was necessary, but no, we've never been ones for lawn maintenance, other than mowing it. Rarely fertilized it. It just grows. But we also don't live in an area where you want to have the picture perfect lawn. Although it'd be nice, right? It'd be nice to have a really pretty lawn. But I feel like just being spring and things getting green are nice enough. See if I can turn this around here. Sorry, you getting tired of me playing? Maybe. Maybe you are. Maybe. Put it like that, squeaking like that. There. You may never come back after this. Let me lose that question there. Nope. Losing it. That doesn't work so well. Mesh system for the Wi-Fi, yeah. I like what we have here with the Wi-Fi, that we've got the same network in the house and in the barn, and it seamlessly connects from one to the other. I guess that's basically what a mesh does, right? That's what a mesh system really is. So let's try this. I'm going to walk away and see if you can still hear me over there. I'm going to go over by Hachi and the lamb. Yeah. Let me know if this works. I'll be right back. But first I'll answer this question. Any other marketplace? I keep looking at marketplace for good finds. It's hard to find a good find on marketplace from what I'm seeing. I think because it's gotten so popular. I've seen some items and I've made some offers on some things. Not really lowballing, but when you don't actually need something, it's easier to make an offer and say, look, I'm not trying to lowball you here, but if you will sell it for this amount, I'm interested. And because you never know, sometimes somebody might be like just interested in getting rid of something, and that's how you can get a deal. But I think marketplace has become so popular that there is a lot of competition for buyers out there, so it's not always easy to find a deal. The flail mower I'm very happy with, although I've not hooked it back up yet. As the grass grows taller around the field, we'll try it out and mow some more with that. As I get into the woods and cut some more trails, there's a lot of briars I want to cut with that. I did clear a big area. I didn't film any of it. A big area back here, actually along the road, that was just gnarly with I mean the amount of sticker bushes, and it's not like a bush. They're just sticking up all over the place, and they just are like intertwined, and they're up in the trees 50 feet, and just a mess. Anyway, I went in there with the loader, and I pulled stuff down, I mulched it up, and was really happy with that. And then when I was done, I thought I should have recorded that, but sometimes you just have to get things done, for sure. So, all right. I'm going to walk away. We'll see if the mic reception works that far away. It might chop up a little bit, so I'll try not to be long. You, again, just talk amongst yourselves. What's happening, Hotch? What's she doing? You just taking care of her? Irma. Irma. Hello, Irma. Come here. Get back. Get back. Come on, let's take you over to the gang again. It's time for a little cuteness shot, all right? Now that I can use both hands. There, you can see her now. So there's little Irma. She weighs about, I don't know, 8 or 10 pounds. Not much to her. Still has her little umbilical cord connected there. But they are cute, aren't they? Look at that, buddy. I mean, look how cute that is. All sounded good. That's good to hear. Yeah. What's neat about these hair sheep is they're not oily with the lanolin as much as of course, a newborn wool sheep is, they're pretty soft too. So, but yeah, they are docile. They really are, which is why they, I guess, are victims of heinous crimes, sheep crimes. The light just went off. There we go. All right, so who said I want 12 of them? Yeah, right. I mean, you can't turn them down when they're little and cute like this, right? They are. She's a good. Actually, when I brought her home, I thought she's so calm, and then I thought, that could be like trauma. She might not be calm at all. She might just be traumatized. I know you're tired, but I like for you to gain some strength. You want to walk back to your house? You want to go find your igloo? All right. If I stand there, you can see. Yeah, she's weak, but she's getting there for sure. All right. What do you think? Do you think dogs are like? I feel like there might be like a genetic thing where they know they're supposed to attack. So anyway, yeah, yeah, Craig, I could turn them down. Animals are a lot of work. They are, but it's been a long time since we had an animal like that. So, in fact, when I got the call to go look at this lamb, I said to Ann, "Do you want to come down with me and take a look at this lamb?" And she's like, "If there's a lamb, I'm going to say bring it home." Like she's just like, "I don't need to see it. Like you make that decision. If you don't bring it home, then I'm good with it. But if I see it, she said, I'll want you to bring it home." So, yep, yep. Well, Chris, maybe a little lamb on the watershed overlook that'd be so picturesque. Maybe so. Where is she? Where'd she go? Oh, still hanging out right there. There's no grass there. You could just do the. Oh, she's coming up here now. I actually, I'm just trying to use common sense here. So throughout the day, she likes to lay in that igloo, that igloo is such a great thing for her because it kept her out of the rain. It's warm in there, and she likes to hang out in there. But my theory is I'm making her walk. It's like physical therapy with a person who nearly needs to use the muscles. So I go in there and I take her out of that igloo and I walk her out into the field and make her stand up, and she has to walk her way back to that igloo. It's not super far, but I just think she's got to use those legs and build that strength. So that's what I do. Right, Irma? Yeah, she's just kind of walking around now. She's coming up here now. What do you think, Irma? Yep. Anyway, that's my theory. That's how I'm taking care of her. Where are you going? Where are you going? She's just coming near to me. Come on again. I'll hold you again. I'll pick you up again. The folks like to see your cute little face more than mine. So, there she is. All right. Well, it is getting dark, and I am running out of battery power. So we're going to cut this a little shorter than usual. But I do want to thank you for being here tonight. I want to thank you for coming back week after week, for watching the content, for being so kind. And I appreciate that we can all come together like this every week. Show the lamb, not just yourself. Show the lamb so they can see her. And do, I don't know that you need to send prayers for a baby lamb, but keep your, keep good thoughts for Irma, and hopefully she'll make it. They so often they don't. It's just the case. Like I said, we had some in the past that didn't make it. But because she lived a week, that means it's very important to get the colostrum from the mother sheep. So I think because she lived a week or two, then she certainly got those initial nutrients that she needed. We've had orphans in the past where the mother died at birth, and they didn't survive because they didn't get that initial colostrum. And supposedly, I guess you can try to milk another sheep. We never did any of that stuff. It never worked out. So this one might be different. But then again, they can all of a sudden one day just go down just like that. All of a sudden, that's how lambs are. So we're not too attached yet. Can you tell? We're not too attached yet, but we'll see. Anyway, good thoughts for Irma. Follow along. I'll keep you more posted on Facebook than YouTube. I didn't make any videos about her on YouTube, but I do post pictures on Instagram and Facebook. So if you do have access to those accounts, be sure to follow on Instagram and or Facebook, and Instagram or Facebook, and you can maybe get some updates on Irma. Irma Linda, ERMALINDA, Irma Linda. The name came from, I said I was going to cut this short, but I'm not. The name, Anne said, let's name her Irma Linda, because when we drove to Canada, we were, you want that? We were listening to a podcast called In Your Own Backyard, or In Your Own Backyard. It was about a killer. Podcasts are always about killers that we listen to. And the killer, his name was Paul. They called him Creepy Paul. He had a sister named Irma Linda. And I said, that's a neat name, kind of a neat name. So, at any rate, that's where the name Irma Linda came from. So, look, this time I'm going to have to end it. Now we're 55 minutes in, which is great. Perfect timing. Thanks again for being here. It's Monday. Have a great week. Happy spring. I hope the weather is turning for you as well. And we're so excited that things are green and leaves are coming out. So happy spring. Keep in touch. And hopefully I'll see you next week. Thanks for being here. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time.